Today, I'm advancing to Mayfair, and the hotels definitely are not green plastic.
As it turns out, Mayfair is the perfect place for a Starstruck video. It's easy to get to, it's great for locals and tourists, and Mayfair has some of London's most fascinating stories. The rock and roll landmarks are some of the best in the city. It truly ticks all the boxes of a great Starstruck by London video. So come with me, let's explore this great area. The logical place to start is Shepherd's Market, where in the 1600s, every May 1st, the Mayfair started.
Over the years, due to a blatant disregard for human decency, the residents were complaining so much about the people attending the Mayfair, especially the drunks and the prostitutes, that they got it shut down in 1764. However, the Mayfair is how Mayfair got its name.
Eventually, the Grosvenor family acquired and developed the land with mansions and high-end properties. By the end of the 18th century, it was the center of London aristocracy, and its reputation still stands today as London's most affluent address. We've arrived at the centerpiece of Mayfair, the beautiful Grosvenor Square.
This place is called by some the United States of Mayfairica because of all the American landmarks that are here. You have the memorial to the Eagle Squadron, you have the Franklin Delano Roosevelt statue, and you even have a memorial to 9/11. The U.S. Embassy used to be here, but it has since moved. But Americans should come here, get a little taste of their own history, and the locals love this place.
Let's head over to Park Lane, where there's a pretty special sight.
If I ask you the name of a nurse, who are you going to say? Of course, Florence Nightingale. And this is where she lived and died. Anybody young and old could come here and get a little inspired by one of the greatest women who ever lived.
The Lady with the Lamp is a London icon. Her efforts in improving hygiene and caring for wounded soldiers set the standard for nursing practices to this day.
I'm here on Park Lane, one of the most exclusive parts of London and the other blue property on the Monopoly board. It is so exclusive because of its proximity to Hyde Park, but there's also a hotel with some real cool rock and roll history. Let me take you over there.
This is the London Park Lane Hilton. Queen Elizabeth opposed construction of this concrete behemoth and vowed never to set foot inside. But the Beatles did. This is where they met the Maharishi, their Indian guru who influenced their most experimental late work. But that's not all that happened here.
In 1977, Elvis Costello stood outside this conference room door. It was hosting CBS executives, and he just wanted to play his guitar and get heard and possibly get a contract with him. Well, he plays guitar, but that didn't work out too well for him because he did get arrested. But, as you know, he did get his record contract eventually. This is one of the great rock and roll tragedies of London. This entrance used to be Trader Vic's from Warren Zevon's song, Werewolves of London.
I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's.
Now, unfortunately, it's gone.
I got lucky. I moved to London 3 months before it closed, so I got my pina colada at Trader Vic's.
If you regularly watch my videos, you know that I am totally against tacky chain restaurants. But this is one exception. This is the Hard Rock in Mayfair. I'm here at the Hard Rock with Simone. I want to know, Simone, which is the better Hard Rock, this one or the Piccadilly?
Simone is right to laugh. Don't make the mistake of confusing the two locations. The Piccadilly Circus Hard Rock Cafe is rubbish. It's made for families and they know they're in a throwaway location. So you'll find contemporary artists with no nostalgic value and memorabilia that I wouldn't walk next door to see. The small collection in the corner of Beatles and Stones stuff pales in comparison to Park Lane's collection of items from the legends. The Park Lane Hard Rock Cafe is a true original. Literally, this is the first Hard Rock Cafe that ever opened. In 1971, Isaac Tigrett and Peter Morton couldn't get proper American burgers in London, so they opened their own restaurant. Their burger joint in Mayfair was a popular hangout for local rock celebrities like Eric Clapton, George Harrison, and Pete Townsend. In 1979, Clapton donated a guitar to mount on the wall. That was the first piece of rock memorabilia that grew into a worldwide collection of 87,000 items. I was particularly impressed with the original animation cells from Pink Floyd's movie The Wall. They even gave me a tour of their museum, and I got to pose with Jimmy Page's guitar. I've been to hard rock cafes all over the world. Believe me, you will not find a collection of rock memorabilia that's nearly as impressive as this. Any rock fan needs to visit, but remember, come to the right one.
This one.
Just a few steps away, you'll find Down Street.
The brickwork on the building behind me should be instantly recognizable to a Londoner as a former tube station. This was formerly the Down Street station on the Piccadilly line, and it's infamous because Winston Churchill and his cabinet used to use this station as their preferred air raid shelter during World War II. Winston said that this was the only shelter that he could not hear the bombs or feel the percussion, and it was his favorite because of that.
One thing Mayfair is known for is its amazing luxury hotels.
Claridge's, the Beaumont, the Mayfair, the Dorchester, and the Connaught. And of course the Ritz, which is actually in St. James, but I'm going to count it.
A stay at any one of these hotels will cost well over £1,000 per night, and they host more than their share of visiting celebrities and dignitaries. Hang out by the front entrance, or have a 40-pound cocktail in one of the lounges. Maybe you'll catch a glimpse of Lady Gaga, Tom Cruise, or Chris Hemsworth. But of all the hotels in Mayfair, the Browns Hotel is probably the most historic.
I'm here with Andrew. Andrew, what happened in this room?
No, actually, the Alexander Graham Bell, he did the very first call here from this room in 1876.
So what else happened in this hotel?
Hi, we actually got the Kipling suite. This is our biggest suite. It's been famous because they read Kipling, they wrote the Jungle Book here.
Kipling wrote the Jungle Book here.
Yes, exactly, yes. So it was like many years ago.
If you cut through the Royal Arcade across from Brown's Hotel, you'll find yourself on New Bond Street.
I'm on New Bond Street, which is like the Rodeo Drive or Champs-Élysées of London, and behind me is Graff Jewelers, where in 2003, London's largest jewelry heist happened. Two men with a gun walked in, and they walked out with £40 million worth of jewels. Crazy.
The robbers were caught after forgetting a phone in their abandoned getaway car with incriminating numbers stored in it. Smart bunch, that. Now to another interesting address, just offset from the chaos of Piccadilly. The Albany, built in 1771, is one of London's most prestigious addresses. Lord Byron, William Wordsworth, and Lord Stanley lived here. More contemporary residents were Aldous Huxley, Bill Nighy, and Terence Stamp. But exclusivity is what makes this residence most notable. Residents are heavily vetted and no children under 14 are allowed.
There are more expensive properties in London, but the Albany will show you sometimes it's a matter of class, not just wealth, that qualifies you to get into an apartment.
Now on to Berkeley Square. But before that, the intention was to take you down a little hidden alley called Bruton Lane. I wanted to show you Mayfair's very cool Banksy, but when I got there, the whole building was gone. Luckily, the trip wasn't wasted. I actually did find a really cool little speakeasy in that alley.
Salutations, sir!
I'm sure that this pub being so hidden away and near Berkeley Square makes it a magnet for celebrities. But unfortunately, no sightings on this Saturday afternoon. Speaking of Berkeley Square, this Grade 2 historic park and garden is one of the best known squares in London. It dates back to the 1750s and was laid out by architect William Kent. The square got its name from John Berkeley, the third Baron of Stratton. The park was the lower section of his house's garden. 6 prime ministers, including Winston Churchill, also William Waldorf Astor, the richest man in America at the time, Charles Rolls, the co-founder of Rolls-Royce, and department store founder Harry Selfridge are among the many former residents of Berkeley Square.
I'm here with Andrea at the Sexy Fish. So Andrea, who's the most famous person you've seen come in here?
Adam Sandler.
Yeah?
Yes.
He's come here a lot?
Yes, very good.
While we're on the subject of famous people, let's head down Curzon Street.
I'm at 9 Curzon Square, and this is one of the most infamous rock sites in the planet. This was Harry Nilsson's flat, and he rented it out to Mama Cass of the Mamas and Papas in 1974. Well, this is where Mama Cass met her unfortunate end. She did not choke on a ham sandwich, but she did die of a heart attack in the 12th flat. Well, 4 years later, Keith Moon was looking for a place to live, and Nilsson suggested his place. Moon was a little spooked by that, as you can imagine, but Pete Townsend said, "Hey, is lightning gonna strike twice?" It did. This is where Keith Moon died, in the same exact flat as Cass Elliot. Tragic story. All happened right here.
On a happier note, we still have 2 more big-time rock sites to visit in Mayfair.
I haven't done an album cover location in a while, but right behind me is where Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie was taken.
Though a lot has changed about Hedden Street since the album cover was taken, you can definitely still see elements of the shot. Plus, the phone booth from the back cover of the album is right around the corner. One thing that annoys me is the K West store moved, and with it, the sign. They should at least put another one up where the original one was. The next street over is Savile Row, which is world-renowned for its bespoke tailors and hat makers, but that's not all you'll find there.
I'm sitting here at the foot of Savile Row. Kind of wish I was here 55 years ago, because if I was, the Beatles would be playing that rooftop right there.
The rooftop of 3 Savile Row is where the band played together for the last time. Every Beatles fan should see this historic site.
That was a long day and a lot of walking, but as you can see, there is a lot to do here in Mayfair. Whether you like rock history, green parks, or expensive drinks, this is the place. So come and visit, and if you got something out of this, please like, share, and subscribe. And please comment. It really turbocharges the algorithm, and I appreciate it. Cheers.